तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। श्री चैतन्य मनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मायं ददान्ति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुन् श्रीयुतापदकमलम् श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सात्वेदं स्वावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपीश गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुष्टुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, third chapter, and verse for today is 12. So, can we read the verse, Prabhuji?
Yes, please.
Shashwin?
Okay, Prabhuji. Thank you. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttama Shlokir Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. Hare Krishna. Jnanam yad apratinnivritagunormi chakram atma prasada utayatra guneshva sanga kaivalya sammattapattas swata bhakti yoga ko nirvrito harikatas suratim kuryat. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, should we read the word to word, Prabhuji?
Yes.
Okay. Word to word. Gnanam, knowledge. Yet, that which. Upon to the limit of. Prati nibrita, completely withdrawn. Guna urmi, the waves of the material mode. Chakram, whirlpool. Atma prasada, satisfaction. Uta, moreover. Yatra, where there is. Guneshu, the modes of nature. Asanga, no attachment. Kaivalya, transcendental. Sammata, approved. Patah, path. Tu, but. Atha, therefore. Bhakti Yoga, devotional service. Ka, who. Nivrita, absorbed in. Harikatha, su. In the transcendental topics of the Lord. Ratim, attraction. Na, shall not. Kurya, do. Translation. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord, Hari, is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material world, material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment. And being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? Hare Krishna. Anyone wants to read the purport? Hare Krishna.
It's a kind of long purport, so maybe you could take turns.
Okay, I will start, and then we can see if we can take turns. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
According to Bhagavad Gita 10.9, the characteristics of pure devotee are wonderful. The complete functional activities of a pure devotee are always engaged in the service of the Lord, and thus the pure devotee exchange feelings of ecstasy between themselves and relish transcendental bliss. This transcendental bliss is experienced even in the stage of devotional practice, sadhana avastha, if properly undertaken under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And in the mature stage of the developed transcendental feeling culminates in realization of the particular relationship with the Lord, by which a living entity is originally constituted up to the relationship of conjugal love with the Lord, which is estimated to be the highest transcendental bliss. Thus, Bhakti Yoga, being the only means of God realization, is called Kaivalya. Srila Jiva Goswami quotes the Vedic version, Eko Narayano Deva Paravaranam Parama Aste Kaivalya Samnitaha. In this connection, and establishes that Narayana, the personality of Godhead, is known as Kaivalya, and that means which enables one to approach the Lord is called Kaivalya Pantha, or the only means of attainment of Godhead. This Kaivalya Pantha begins from Shravana, or hearing those topics that relate to the personality of Godhead. And the natural consequence of hearing such Harikatha is attainment of transcendental knowledge, which causes a detachment from all mundane topics for which a devotee has no taste at all. For a devotee, all mundane activities, social and political, become unattractive. And in the mature stage, such a devotee becomes uninterested even in his own body, and what to speak of bodily relatives. In such a state of affairs, one is not agitated by the waves of material modes. There are different modes of material nature, and all mundane functions in which a common man is very much interested or in which he takes part become unattractive to the devotee. This state of affairs is described herein as Pratinivrita Gunormi, and it is possible by Atma Prasada, or complete self-satisfaction, without any material connection. The first class devotee of the Lord attains this stage by devotional service, but despite his loftiness, for the Lord's satisfaction, he may play the voluntary part of a preacher of the Lord's glory and dovetail all into devotional service. Even mundane interest, just to give the neophytes a chance to transform mundane interest into transcendental bliss. Srila Rupa Goswami has described this action of a pure devotee as Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagyam Uchyate. Even mundane activities dovetailed with service of Lord to the service to the Lord are also calculated to be transcendental or approved Kaivalya affairs. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much to everyone for us meeting here together. And of course, we feel very grateful to Srila Prabhupada for giving us the opportunity. So we're continuing with our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3. Today's text number 12. This chapter is entitled Pure Devotional Service to Change in Heart. So in the first two chapters, as we remember, the first one was the first stages of God realization, and the next was the Lord in the heart. This chapter is dedicated to pure devotional service, and Shukadev Goswami is explaining the value in the beginning of this chapter. And here in this verse, we'll read the verse again. Transcendental knowledge in relation with the Supreme Lord Hari is knowledge resulting in the complete suspension of the waves and whirlpools of the material modes. Such knowledge is self-satisfying due to its being free from material attachment, and being transcendental, it is approved by authorities. Who could fail to be attracted? So Srila Prabhupada begins his purport quoting this verse from Bhagavad Gita, Machita Makata Prana, Bodhyanta Paraspara, Katayantascha Mamnicham Tushanti Cha Ramanti Cha, which is in the 9th chapter, 10th chapter, text 9. And the translation is, the thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. They derive great satisfaction and bliss. Tushanti cha ramanti cha. Ramanti, like Rama, means spiritual happiness, transcendental happiness. And Tushanti means becoming happy, becoming pleased. In today's text, Srila Prabhupada is making the point that the devotees, by hearing about Krishna, become more attracted. This is our process. And as we become more attracted to Krishna and more absorbed in thinking of him, then automatically we become detached. So this is our process. Our process is mostly a positive process. Our process, as Srila Prabhupada would say, is not no. Our process is yes. So rather than concentrating so much upon no, don't do this, no, don't do that, instead, we put more focus upon yes, hear about Krishna, use our ears, use our nose, use our eyes, use our tongue, use our whole body in relationship with Krishna, in the direction of Krishna. We don't say don't eat, but we offer to Krishna first. So in this way, our process is meant to be a positive process of positive activities, which automatically will gradually detach us. Srila Prabhupada writes, for a devotee, all mundane activities, social and political, become unattractive. And in the mature state, such a devotee becomes uninterested even in his own body. And what to speak of bodily relatives? In such a state of affairs, one is not agitated by the waves of the material modes. So we are on the path of transcendence. This is a purely spiritual path of yoga. And it should be that as we make advancement, if someone asks, am I making advancement? Am I making progress? Then Srila Prabhupada said that ask yourself how much we are still attracted to temporary sense gratification, how much we are attached to the things of this world compared to being attached to Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada writes that this Atma Prasad, or complete self-satisfaction, is what makes it possible, or one of the components of what makes it possible for us to be detached. Just like in the Bhagavad Gita, there is the verse that one can try and control one's desires, but if one has a higher taste, param drisvar nivartate, a higher pleasure, then it's a lot easier, isn't it? Than if we don't. Also in the 5th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes the characteristics of an advancing yoga practitioner. That again, the practitioner of yoga, the devotee, becomes more and more happy within. We can go and find those verses. They're very good. That fifth chapter, Karma Yoga, Action and Krishna Consciousness. It gives so much practical information, and it also describes the thinking, how an advanced spiritual person thinks. In chapter 5, text 7, Lord Krishna explains to Arjuna, one who works in devotion, who is a pure soul, who controls his mind and senses, is dear to everyone, and everyone is dear to him. Though always working, such a man is never entangled. A person in the divine consciousness, although engaged in seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving about, sleeping, and breathing, always knows within himself that he actually does nothing at all. Because during all these activities, the devotee knows that only the material senses are engaged with their objects and that he is aloof from them. Let's see. When the embodied living being controls his nature and mentally renounces all actions, he resides happily within the body, neither working nor causing work to be done. Let's see. Those whose minds are established in sameness and equanimity have already conquered the conditions of birth and death. They are flawless like Brahman, and thus they are already situated in Brahman. So these are descriptions of transcendental consciousness. A person who neither rejoices upon achieving something pleasant or laments when obtaining something unpleasant, who is self-intelligent, unbewildered, who knows the science of God, is already situated in transcendence. Such a liberated person is not attracted to material sense pleasure, but is always in trance, enjoying the pleasure within. In this way, the self-realized person enjoys unlimited happiness, for he concentrates on the Supreme. So that is another answer that Srila Prabhupada gave, that am I advancing in Krishna consciousness? And are we becoming happy? Are we feeling cheerful? This is one of the qualities of advancing in true spirituality, that we become happy from within. We don't have to buy anything. We don't have to go anywhere, but automatically we have a transcendental happiness. So that is great wealth, isn't it? If one is already happy, then one doesn't need to make $1 million or $1 billion or go here or go there. That's real wealth, because these people who are working very hard to get as much money as possible, and when I get this much money, then I'll be happy. But if you're already happy, then that means you're already wealthy. So this is true, isn't it? People want money so they can buy things and go places, so they can be happy. But if you're already happy, then Atma Rama, Tushanticha, Ramanticha. And how? What is that process? By hearing about Krishna and speaking about him. The more we do that purely, with a pure motive, we will feel this transcendental pleasure. So Srila Prabhupada speaks about that in the purport. This transcendental happiness is experienced even in the stage of practice, if properly undertaken under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master. And in the mature stage, the developed transcendental feeling culminates in realization of one's particular relationship with Krishna. So we have our Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda and the associates of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So many stories are given to us by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami by his direct experience or from the notebooks of Sarup Damodar Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he, as we know, Namo Mahavadan Avatar, he appeared most magnanimous incarnation of Krishna in the mood of Srimati Radharani to show us the example of love of Krishna. The spiritual world, Vaikuntha, Goloka Vrindavan, is a place of nothing but love for Krishna. Everyone is full of happiness, not just happiness, ecstasy, exchanging relationships with Krishna in love. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he showed us, and his associates, so many associates of Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and Shri Advaita. We know Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he appeared in West Bengal, in Navadvip, and he stayed for some years, early 20s, and then went to Jagannath Puri, where he remained for the remainder of his stay here on this planet. But he sent his intimate disciples all over, the six Goswamis to Vrindavan, to write books, to establish the truth of Bhakti Yoga, the truth of Krishna, based on the Vedic scriptures. And he sent Lord Nityananda and Haridas Thakur to West Bengal in Bangladesh to spread Harinam Sankirtan. And it is these. We are here today sitting because of these six Goswamis, Srila Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Jiva Goswami, Gopal Bhatta, Raghunath Das, and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, these six saints, actually each one a liberated soul, one of the maidservants of the gopis, each one. And they wrote, Lord Chaitanya requested that they translate and present Krishna consciousness, which they did. So many literatures. Srila Prabhupada, he stayed in the Radha Damodar temple, established by, I believe, Srila Jiva Goswami, and continued that same mission of teaching Krishna consciousness, presenting Krishna Bhakti by printing and publishing and distributing books. And so we are here today because of that effort coming directly from Lord Chaitanya and the six Goswamis. And then after the most of the intimate associates of Lord Chaitanya disappeared, then Srila Jiva Goswami was younger, and there was a great Bhakta, Srinivas Acharya, and Narottam Das Thakur, and another Shamananda. And they were there in Vrindavan, and they were given the responsibility of the first book distribution, just like we, the members of ISKCON. We are very much interested to distribute these literatures. And so these very deep, pure devotees, liberated souls, Srinivas Acharya, Srila Jiva Goswami, and Shamananda, and Narottam Das Thakur. They, as it is said, the Panchatattva, they broke open the storehouse. Just like you have a warehouse, and there's locks on the doors, or there's wood, and you can't get in to get the goods. So the followers of Lord Chaitanya, the Panchatattva, they broke the doors down, so that everyone could get the goods, get the fruits, the tasty fruits of Krishna Prema. specifically by distributing the holy name, the Ajan and Japa and Kirtan, and these transcendental literatures, so that we can hear about Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, there are many verses which in different places, which they say pretty much the same thing, that we who do not have so much realization, we can see Krishna by hearing. This is how we see Krishna. We don't see so much with these eyes, but we see by hearing. And so to have the association of a pure devotee who is full of love, who is glorifying Krishna, is a great opportunity, fabulous opportunity. So Srila Prabhupada comments in the purport to this verse that yes, pure devotional service is certainly the best and most important of all goals of life. It brings great happiness and joy as we realize our relationship with Krishna. And this bhakti yoga is the only means of God realization, of complete God realization. Sometimes people will say, well, there's many paths of yoga, and they all go to the same place. And so we don't have to get in an argument. We can say, yes, it's true. All paths of yoga, they do head in the direction of God. You know, as I've shared before, they all head in the direction of Krishna, just like an elevator or stairs can bring one to the top of a building. And actually, if you are in a very tall building, 30, 40, 50 stories high, not all elevators go to the top floor. Some elevators will go to the 20th, some will go to the 40th, but usually there is only one set of elevators that goes all the way to the top. So Bhakti Yoga is the all the way to the top for the fullest awakening of Krishna consciousness. So someone may, I don't know, but someone may have thought, hearing this purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, for a devotee, all mundane activities, social and political, become unattractive, and in the mature state, such a devotee becomes uninterested even in his own body, what to speak of bodily relatives. So what does that mean? That as I become more advanced, I'm not going to care for my family anymore? I shouldn't care for my family anymore? And it's a good question. What does that mean? What if my wife or my husband becomes very advanced? Will they give me up? Will they go away? So Srila Prabhupada writes in the beginning, he says, all mundane activities. All mundane activities. But if it's not a mundane activity, then the devotee is not uninterested. In other words, if we are, as we make advancement in Krishna consciousness, we will, Krishna becomes more of the center. That this family of mine is Krishna's. They are all Krishna's. And because I love Krishna, I love them. And because he wants to see that they are happy in the best way possible, I'm also interested. And if I'm a mother, I'm a father, or if I'm a child, then for the pleasure of Krishna, then I take care of his children. You know, we say mother and father, but they're really my brother or sister in a spiritual sense. These children, I say my child, but actually they're no younger than you are. Right? That's true. Often we need to remind ourselves. Yes, from the material perspective, this is my child, but in another perspective, which is true, they're no younger than I am. I am part of Krishna. This child is part of Krishna. My employees, my boss. You know, for ourselves, we may not care so much for our boss, but our employer is part of Krishna. So from that perspective, we may have a lot of interest, you see. So nothing has to be just thrown overboard. This is a misunderstanding of people who don't understand, who don't have complete understanding of what yoga is. Certainly yoga does involve becoming detached, but the proper way to do that is just seeing everything in its right perspective. If we see a 5-pound note on the street, we could just leave it there. Well, it's not mine, so I'll just leave it there. But it's better, if we can, to pick it up and try and give it to whoever it belongs to, because that's the reality, isn't it? We should just use things in the light of knowledge. And then there's no bad reaction. There's no entanglement. Although it is true that, especially in our beginning stages, we should be careful not to get too busy, that we give up our sadhana, or we become too attached in a mundane way with mundane people. We should avoid becoming too thick with people who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. That doesn't mean that we have to be unfriendly, but otherwise you end up doing what they're doing, right? That's what can happen. So we have to find devotee friends to become attached to. So any discussion or comments up to this point?
Yes, Prabhu, I was thinking that we fail to distinguish between what we term as material and what we term as spiritual. See, many a times we get confused, like how to use this material object in the service of Krishna, and then how to properly develop vairagya. So what to be avoided, what not to be avoided. So it's a consistent challenge for us to differentiate on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, it certainly can be. I mean, we have major guidelines. We don't use rum. So we, we're not going to engage that. Well, I'll feel more relaxed. No, no, we don't. We don't. So there are some big guidelines, and then again, as we speak about, uh, whatever is favorable, whatever helps our japa, whatever helps our deity seva, whatever helps our hearing about Krishna, we do. Will this help or won't it? Should I take this job? Should I go here? Should I go there? Should I eat more of this or not eat more of that? Well, is it going to help me in my devotional activities or not? Uh, is it going to help satisfy Krishna's desires? So that's again, that's broad brushstroke, but that should carry us a long way. And then if we have anything which is we can ask someone, then I'm not sure what to do about this. Would you like to give an example of a awkward kind of situation?
Let's say if you want to watch something in the TV, so we are the YouTube gives us a lot of options based on your viewing preferences. So someone may be attracted in general topics and news, but ultimately whether it helps us in Krishna consciousness in our growth or not. So if you're not careful, then you may watch something which is not necessary. I mean, especially I've
Yes.
experienced this.
Yeah. That's a very, very good question, and something to be talked about sometime. We're not sannyasis. If we were in the renounced order, there'll be no reason to have that kind of discussion. But we're not. So for us, uh, it's a practical question. And we say us, there some of us may be initiated, by a Vaishnava spiritual master. Some of us are not initiated yet. So that makes a difference in a sense that we expect more of ourselves, and Krishna expects more of us. The spiritual master expects more of us uh, after initiation. We want to be careful not to go backwards. But let's consider someone who is just hearing about Krishna consciousness and beginning to attend sanghas and things like that. So Krishna, it's a very good question. I've had some discussions with others about this, and it was pointed out that Srila Prabhupada writes in the chapter of the three modes of nature that the first business of a devotee is to become established in sattva guna. This is scientific. We want to have less tama and rajas gun, because without sattva gun, we will not be able to understand Krishna very much. We will not be attracted to him. It is very important to develop and increase and keep sattva guna strong in our mind and in our body. So there we have it. So that is a very important goal and marking point. It's so hard to go any further without sattva guna. So there we have it. So then will this activity increase my sattva guna or decrease? Will I sink down into laziness and slothfulness and just watching the television or the video for hours? Will I become passionate, agitated? Oh, I want to buy that. I want to buy this. I'm seeing so many advertisements, or we become sexually impassioned because of seeing something. So we want to avoid that. That's very simple. Now, so ideally, or we will reach a point of as we're discussing, as we advance in Krishna consciousness, we won't want to do anything other than just hear about Krishna and speak about it. We just want to do things that are direct, aiming to please him. But until that point, we are not at that point. We will not be able to just sit and chant 24 hours a day, and we will need some amusement, some break, which is expected, But our relaxation, it should be sattva guna. So if we're going to take a break and see something on YouTube, then maybe we're watching something about nature. We're learning something about the planets. We're learning something in the mode of goodness. Yes. So whatever or we're taking a nap, we're resting, playing some sports, not to kill each other, but a little cricket or football, something, going swimming. It's just some simple, innocent activity to take a break. Now, suppose someone says, but for me, I love watching martial arts and seeing how, the guys beat each other up. And I just been doing that for years. And, I like this Krishna consciousness, but so then for you, see that's the point. For you, so watch, but uh, try and increase your hearing about Krishna, because our process is positive. So definitely, because our process is regulated. When we're initiated, we chant 16 rounds, we follow the four regulated principles, we rise early. It's regulated. And we're always supposed to be regulated. When someone comes for the first month or 2 months, then they may begin chanting 1 round of japa or 2 rounds of japa. And they're reducing, sinful activities, but it's regulated. So we don't want to decrease, we want to increase. So alongside, I'm speaking for people who are new, uh, or have not become initiated, then we always want to keep our levels, whatever levels we have committed to, and increase our levels, and not increase, not that we watch martial arts, a couple times a week, and all of a sudden we're watching 2 hours a day. So then we know we're going backwards, or we're looking at the news, whatever it is, reading some news, but then we become, so much more. We don't want to become more. We want to be heading towards more attachment to Krishna. So within the regulative principles, we have a big circle, and then the next circle is sattva-guna. Uh, yeah, and that will help us decide a lot, whether we should eat a particular food, or how much we should sleep, or how much we should do anything. Srila Prabhupada writes in the Nectar Devotion, he says that one should set a standard for oneself that one can keep, and then increase from there. So that's a very practical instruction, and it's good for all of us, whether we are initiated or not, because we are all, we're all at the point that we're at, and we still have the inclinations that we have. So we want to regulate them, right? Just like we say that sex life is allowed, but only within marriage. And even then, ideally, it should only be for children. So the point is that whatever the activity, it should be, how do they say, with a foot on the brake, not full speed ahead without any thinking. Like that. So this is practical. It's very realistic. And then gradually, whatever we are, just like some of us, suppose you're initiated. So it's really a good thing on Ekadasi to chant 25 rounds, or fast all day, or fast all day and night. I mean, there's higher and higher levels of offering service to Krishna. So for all of us, we can increase gradually, and improve. We have each other to consult with, that this is my level, this is my standard, this is what I'm doing. How do you think I can improve? What do you think about what I'm doing? Like that we find a trusted person that we trust. They're not going to judge us, you know? You don't want to, by judging, meaning that automatically we're turning our nose down and finding fault with them, and we're, they feel that we think they're lousy people. That's not nice. That's not nice. We're all, who of us is Rupa Goswami? Even if we're initiated and we're so staunch and we're so engaged in intensive devotion, we're not Rupa Goswami or Lord Nityananda, Lord or Sri Advaita Prabhu. We're all lacking. That's the point. Even sometimes we can become a little caught up in the externals. Well, I'm wearing my neck beads exactly the right way, and my tilak is exactly correct, and I'm chanting my rounds, and I'm perfect. Well, what about your love? Can't we increase our love more? We may be doing the activities, so to speak, but what about our heart? Right? So I didn't mean to go on and on about that, but it's a very real and practical question, what to do and how to feel about ourselves. That am I some awful, terrible person? Uh, because I'm eating 3 bars of chocolate every week. No, you're not a horrible, awful person. You're a devotee. You're chanting God's names, and that's what you're used to doing, and that's what you're doing. Offer it to Krishna and try and substitute. Uh, so it's a balance between being strict with ourselves that this isn't really so good, but I'm going to pull myself up. That's the real thing. As Srila Prabhupada writes in the Nectar Devotion, he says that the real penance for falling away is to get back on the horse. You know, if we make a mistake or if we become, we slip. So we recognize, oh, that wasn't good. I'm sorry. What can I do so it doesn't happen again? That's the real thing. What can I do if I won't watch that thing again? Because the last time I watched it, I started thinking about having sex, and that's all I could think about. And that's what I ended up doing. So I won't watch that, you see? Or I won't go to this restaurant and then they're all eating fish and chips, and that's all I end up thinking. No, don't go to that restaurant. Don't be with those people. If that's what ends, think how to not do it again. And patience. This is something we speak about regularly, that it may not be next week or next month that we reach the level that we want to be on or we should be on. And it may require, uh, because all of us have past sinful reactions, these lusty desires, these sinful desires, these strong desires, whatever it may be, for to have money or to have things, house and car, or to have power or physical sex, whatever it may be. They can be so strongly rooted. And even we try and we try. It seems like a monkey stuck on us with glue, and it won't go away. And it may take a while. It could take months. It could take years to be completely free of something that we know I really should not be so involved with it. But it may take time. It could. And as long as we're trying, Krishna does not, Krishna never hates us, but we will not be penalized as long as we're making effort. Uh, that's the thing, that we're making effort, whatever that effort may be, that I will only do this thing this much. That's it. So still it's not good, but at least we're making effort, you see? And Krishna knows, oh, so they are trying. Yeah, it could be discouraging uh, if we let it be discouraging. Uh, we've been in this material world for many, many births. And if it takes a few months or a few years or even a number of years to become free of something, it's not very long. It actually it's not very long. Uh, so we shouldn't be loose, but we shouldn't be too hard on ourselves. All right, I have a plan and I'm doing my plan, and that's it. What more can we do? It's just like if we have a son or daughter and they're trying to get themselves out of some sticky situation. It they may not be able to do it very soon, right? So what are we going to do? Get up, yell at them and criticize them every week? No, we give them time, right? These are real things. Yes, it's like so regulation. So you have some regulation, whatever it may be. During this time of the day or this time of the week, I look at YouTube and I watch videos. It's not like drinking in the pub. It's amazing how hard we are on our. I read once there was, of course, they're all over, but there was a convent, a place where women, nuns, they live. So this was a very devout sect, very staunch. They would pray on their knees for hours, praying to Jesus. But every afternoon they would play basketball for an hour because we are not able to do that, so to speak. Just some break uh, from that, and then back at it. You see, I thought that was funny, but it's real. Oh, they're playing basketball. Well, whatever it is, they're taking a walk, they're going for a swim. What? Just something to rest the mind and the body, some sense gratification, to put it simply. Sattva guna. You see, sattva guna. We don't want to lose the sattva guna. We may watch national cricket championship. It's not going to the pub and drinking beer, right? Or ale. You see. But as we were saying, it's so important as our acharyas point out that, or Lord Krishna says, one size does not fit all. And it's so important, at least for managers and leaders, and to remember that. In the what is it in the 12th chapter, the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita? You may remember Lord Krishna says that best of all is pure loving devotional service. Then the second best is to follow the regulative principles so that one can develop pure love. Then the third level down, and he gives 5 or 6 levels of devotion, and they're all devotees. So then the next one after not being able to follow the regulative principles very strictly is working for Krishna. Then let me just, and it's not all or nothing. We may be following the regulative principles so much, but there may be some lacking. But we are also dedicating our efforts to the mission of Krishna. And that's probably where a lot of us are at. I don't mean in the sense of breaking the regulative principles, but we are all working for Krishna. Trying to work and give the results towards Krishna. And then he says, Krishna, that if you can't do that, then just try and live in the mode of goodness and give in charity. Like suppose you're living, and you're a husband, you're a wife, and your spouse will not let you do anything with Krishna, or a child, or a young adult, or someone. Then the next thing is just help the Red Cross, help some other charity organization. Give the fruits of your work towards something other than yourself. You see, because the principle is to develop love. The principle is to develop selflessness. So according to where we are at, we do that. You see? So Krishna himself gives 5 or 6 different levels. And each of us, perhaps we are spread amongst 2 or 3, or maybe more. So we do a little bit of this one, but mostly this one, and a little bit of this one. So we have to be patient. We may be in a situation we can't chant japa, we can't worship the deity. You see? But we can still be a devote. Oh, to please Krishna, I'll be as good a person as I can. I'll help other people as much as possible. And that's my devotion. Any questions or discussions about this? Krishna will guide us. If we are sincere, and we are all sincere, then what we need to aim for, we'll know. I'm doing this. This is how my life, and I should really be up here. So Krishna will guide us. Well, then come to this step, and then come to this step, and then come to this step. You see, and we lift ourselves up. Hopefully, as quickly as possible, but whatever it is. Oh, I stopped chanting. I haven't chanted in 3 months. Then start chanting. Don't wait. Oh, I can't imagine chanting 16 rounds again. Then don't, but chant 1 round. Stop thinking, forget 16 rounds. Chant 1, then 2, then 4. You see? We pull ourselves up if we need to. Is that all right, Arya Govinda? What do you think?
Yes, yes, Prabhu. Yes, I think the shorter goals is what makes practical. Rather than setting bigger goals and then not achieving, as you said about Prabhupada's quotation that whatever level we can achieve, so we have to achieve on a consistently regular basis, so that at
Yeah,
least we make
and
constant. Yes, Prabhu,
go
yes.
ahead.
No, we make a consistent progress, and then as Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, pratyaksham avagavam dharmam. That means we can see our level of progress ourselves. Like medicine,
Right.
when you're taking medicine, when you're taking food, a man without I mean with a lot of hunger, he don't need to get any evidence from anywhere else. He feels the energy himself.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's
yeah,
the
yeah.
that's the proof of
That's good. Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, we don't, there's so many pitfalls, and they're common to all religious paths. I have read some guidebooks with other religions, and they say almost the same thing. So one is, of course, is pride. Uh, I remember many years ago. Uh, so brahmacharis. So are you going to get married? Oh no, people will think I'm in Maya. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to. I'm not going to eat another serving of this because people will think I'm not an advanced devotee. Forget. Stop living for other people. We need to do what will help our Krishna consciousness. And not only that, as I started to say, our own pride. Sometimes we can get proud. Oh, I'm this devotee. I don't do that. Those devotees over there, they do that. Or that devotee does that. That devotee watches this television. I don't do that. And all you're thinking about is, oh, I really watch television. So this is Maya. This is just silly. And it can be a result of pride. Oh, I'm not going to get married. Do you need to be married? Yes. But people will think I'm in Maya. So, so we should pray not to be like that. And we pray that don't let me be ruined by, let me just, better, what does Srila Prabhupada say? Better being a sincere sweeper, just some person who sweeps the street and you chant and you hug your wife every night and you're a devotee, boss, you know, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Just be real. Krishna, that's how Krishna is. So I think we can end here.
Yeah. Um, just to add, to be honest to yourself than to show off to others. Yeah.
Mhm. It can be hard. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving time on this New Year's Eve. Most of the streets, I can hear the music around my house. Most of the people are wanting to enjoy. I mean, so-called
Oh,
enjoyment
yeah.
in the yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Festival. Yeah.
festival, yeah. So
Right.
most people thinking of I mean greeting the new year with a lot of beer or a lot of other foods. So at least we have been fortunate enough to hear Srila Prabhupada's purport, and then we discuss spiritual subjects. So that's our new year. So we have been
Yes.
blessed
Yeah.
to have this kind of association.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Um, if there are no questions or comments, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Govind Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Dina Sharan Prabhu. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Yes,
I have
Mataji.
just
Welcome.
arrived. Thank you,
Oh,
thank you. Yeah, I'm now in Eldoret, so thank you very much for all the classes. I'm going to upload them, and thank you for your fantastic service, Prabhuji's. Like you said, the others are getting intoxicated with beer, and we are also getting intoxicated with Srimad Bhagavatam. So, thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So let's chant one Hare Krishna Mahamantra in glorification of His Grace Dina Sharan Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.
Srila
Srila
Prabhupada.
Ki Jai.
Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
His Grace Dina Sharan Prabhu Ki Jai.
Thank you so
Prabhuji.
much for your company. I
Hare
wish
Krishna.
everyone a good evening and a happy new year with Krishna.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Prabhuji. Same to you. Wish you the same. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Take care. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Hare Govind Prabhu. Danvat
Hare Krishna,
Pranam.
Mataji. Dandat Pranam,
How are
Mataji.
you?
How are you?
I'm
Good.
okay.
You're back today?
I'm back today, yes, Prabhuji. So I'm just
Okay.
trying to set up everything.
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
understand the situation you are in. It's not easy
Yeah.
to handle.
Yeah. It was one after another. That's why it's difficult because now we don't know what to do with whatever is left.
True.
But
Yes,
anyway,
yes.
Krishna will show us the path. Prabhuji,
Yes.
do you have the timetable of when you did which shloka, which verse? Because I think there are few verses that are not recorded, so for me to upload, it might be difficult. I might not know who did what.
Okay, let me check, Mataji. Let me check. I've been posting on the group who was supposed to do on the Srimad Bhagavatam readers group.
Okay.
But I didn't make a schedule as such on the speakers forum. But
Okay.
let me check and let you know, Mataji. But most of the classes are recorded. I think one of
but
few recordings I think we couldn't do because I think the cloud was full.
yeah. So that is fine. But I don't know, like for example, on 13th December, it was Rukma Prabhu because I can see his face, but I do not know which shloka he did. So that is what I'm missing.
Okay. Let me go back and then find out and give you a sort of rough idea, Mataji.
Okay. I'm just trying to upload everything on here.
Okay. Sure. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Tomorrow, who's giving the class, Prabhuji?
Tomorrow it should be Vidura Prabhu, but
Okay.
he was a little skeptical because it is a new year.
Yeah.
So I can I contact him and again check with him again if he can do or you will be able to do it.
No, Prabhuji, this week also I'll be joining, but you continue and then I can take over later on.
Okay.
I'm-
Yeah.
I'm-
Okay, Mataji.
Unless you
Hare
can't do it, then I'll take it over. But I just need.
No, I'll just just settle down. I'll just do it for a couple of days and then you can take it over later.
Okay, Prabhuji. I'll appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.